coming up on DHN.
Do you smoke? Find out what stores will no longer be selling tobacco products.
And what about the chemicals in your bread? Subway is finally making some changes.
Later, we'll catch you up on how the Gallaudet football team was honored this past week.
And we'll fill you in on one Valley school that had 2 wins in last week's competition.
Keeping up with today's news for the hearing and the deaf.
The Deaf and Hearing Network starts now.
Thanks for joining us at the Deaf and Hearing Network. I'm Alita Hunt.
And I'm Melissa Huber. The lawsuit about CNN adding closed captions to its online videos continues in court. The case made its way to the federal appellate court this past week and was sent to the California Supreme Court. Before the case can go any further, California needs to decide if the internet counts as a public place under the Disabled Persons Act. If the court defines the internet as a place of public accommodation, then CNN may be forced to add closed captions to their online content.
Last show, we told you about this year's ASL performer for the Super Bowl. Our reporter, Diane Sue Kovacs, got the chance to speak with Amber Zion this week.
Yes, Zion got the chance to meet with lots of stars and get a behind-the-scenes look at the Super Bowl.
Behind the scenes was really busy. It was jam-packed inside the stadium, and there was a lot of strict security, and you had to show your passes, and everyone had these specific groups, and I had to stay in my group so that way I could, get to the stage and get to my spot.
This was Zion's first time performing for a national event.
During the show, I wasn't focused on everything else. I was trying really hard to just focus on myself, on my performance. But then I looked up at the Jumbotron and I was like, whoa, that's me. But, I tried to just keep performing and keep going.
You'll be able to see Zion perform in a short film that just finished shooting and was asked to perform in the upcoming Vagina Monologues in LA.
If you need to pick up a pack of cigarettes, don't plan on getting them at CVS. Starting on October 1st, the drugstore will no longer sell cigarettes or tobacco products. CVS marks the first large-sale company to take tobacco off its shelves.
We just had the 50th year commemoration since the Surgeon General of the United States put the warning out that tobacco was a health risk. We recognize that in 50 years we've come a long way, but not nearly enough.
CVS has 7,600 stores throughout the country. They are expecting to have a $2 billion loss in sales, but the company has been commended for making public health a priority.
During the Super Bowl, a Coca-Cola commercial ended up getting quite a bit of negative feedback. Reporter Clayton Ide will take a look at how social media reacted.
Many people began posting on social media about how it was offensive to sing America the Beautiful in many different languages. One poster said, "Nice to see that Coke likes to sing an American song in the terrorist language." Some of the posts, however, didn't get the information quite right. Another post was, "Speak American if you're in America." Coca-Cola also created 9 different videos showing the girls who sang America the Beautiful in each language. Most of them said that people should feel proud that so many cultures can exist in one country.
Shirley Temple died Monday night at the age of 85. Reporters say that she died of natural causes in her home in California. She began acting at 3 years old and would become one of the most well-known child stars. Temple became a foreign diplomat after ending her acting career at age 22.
I never really thought of myself as an icon. I always feel that I should be put in a museum or something. But an icon, I'm delighted that people loved my films and were loyal to me and still are.
She was awarded 2 lifetime achievements for her performing career. Her funeral arrangements are still being planned.
Small businesses will have more time to comply with the Affordable Health Care Act. The health care law, often referred to as Obamacare, required all businesses with 50 or more employees to provide health insurance by 2015. The deadline for businesses with only 50 to 99 employees, though, has been extended to 2016.
Subway will be removing chemicals from its bread, but some still remain. A food blogger pointed out that the bread in America has the same chemicals as yoga mats and shoe rubber. Subway came out and said it was already in the process of removing those chemicals when the blogger started a petition. Now, researchers are saying that many harsh chemicals are still being used. Certain dyes have been linked to tumors and cancer, and some of the chemicals are also used in cosmetics.
President Obama is keeping some of the promises he made in the State of the Union. On Wednesday, the president signed an executive order officially raising the minimum wage for new federal contractors. It will raise almost $3, but only a small portion of the more than 2 million federal contractors will be affected.
Congress passed a $1 trillion bill that will set 5 years of eating and farming policies in the United States. The bill requires meat suppliers to label their products in detail. It will also make farming less risky by providing crop insurance to farmers. However, the bill cuts funding to the food stamp program as well. Cronkite News Service reported that Arizona's food stamp program would not be feeling the effects of this bill. It mainly affects how bonus money is spent, and Arizona has not received performance bonuses in recent years.
The U.S. economy has not added as many jobs as expected, but the unemployment rate did go down. Compared to last year's monthly average, about 80,000 less jobs were added during January. The unemployment rate did drop slightly to its lowest since October of 2008. Most construction companies halted their work during December due to bad weather, but they have added about 48,000 more jobs now that the temperatures are warming up. Arizona's unemployment rate is still higher than the national average. Arizona may have more in common with Russia than you'd think. A recent report from KTAR.com says that anti-gay laws on Arizona's books are similar to the ones that were recently passed in Russia. In June, Russia outlawed any pro-gay propaganda that could be accessible to minors. This basically made it illegal to support any gay rights in the public eye because minors could have the potential to see it. In Arizona, laws prohibit teachers from promoting homosexuality in the classroom. The Washington Post also said that Arizona will not allow homosexuality to be portrayed as a positive alternative lifestyle. And it has said that it's inappropriate to even suggest that safe sex is possible. The Attorney General said he would be extending same-sex marriage in all states, whether their laws allowed it or not.
Phoenix made history last week after naming a woman as acting fire chief. Kara Kalkbrenner is the first female to hold this position, and she will take over starting March 1st. She has been with the department for almost 30 years and was the executive assistant chief of administration before the promotion. The department will do a national search in order to find a permanent fire chief.
A rewards program was set up for shoppers along 19th Avenue because of construction from the light rail expansion. The program will continue through the end of 2015 when the light rail is expected to be finished. Some of the businesses in the area will give discounts and special offers to people with Metro passes or the Metro Max Rewards card. You can see a full list of offers on their website.
really does help bring people into the doors of those local businesses along 19th Avenue. Helps people understand that we want to keep people shopping local. That's so important for these businesses.
The Phoenix Day School for the Deaf is in the thick of all the construction. PDSD is right on 19th Avenue, so staff and students have driven through the construction every day. However, Valley Metro has been great at involving PDSD with weekly updates on construction, and they've invited them to many local events.
Every month we have Transit Tuesday, where we go to different restaurants for different lunch deals to give support to local businesses because they are also affected by the construction. Valley Metro tries to give them more business by doing that. The students got out of all that construction last week and went to Washington for the WSBC Classic. Both the boys and girls basketball teams won the championship.
We felt really inspired by this, seeing that our team had worked so hard and seeing that we can actually do this, you know? I mean, we come back home to Phoenix and we got good news and everyone's congratulating us. I mean, we made history with these dual championships.
The girls' championship game was against the Arizona School for the Deaf and the Blind and went into overtime for the winning point. The boys' games was also very close with only a 2-point win.
The Olympics have not gotten off to a great start. Controversy over Russia's gay rights laws and possible terrorist attacks have been the talk of the town. Russia has been working hard to pull focus back to the athletes. These opening ceremonies were the most expensive in history. The president of Russia is using the games as a way to show the world the new Russia.
There have also been some issues that weren't political. Audience expected Shaun White to get another gold medal in the halfpipe this year. However, he ended up getting 4th, which does not qualify him for any medals. Earlier this week, he backed out of the slopestyle event in order to focus on the halfpipe. White said that some of the tricks he slipped on during the course were ones he landed during practice. However, taking a risk worked out for some athletes. The U.S. got its first gold medal from snowboarder Sage Kotzenberg. He leapt in the air and twisted high for an almost flawless win in men's slopestyle. Surprisingly, he'd never tried this trick prior to performing it in Sochi. Julia Mancuso clinched her 4th Olympic medal and continues to have more Olympic medals than any other U.S. female alpine racer.
The Gallaudet football team was recognized as a Here Strong champion last week. The team was given the award after finishing a record-breaking season. The team went almost undefeated and made it to the NCAA championship tournament for the first time. The Here Strong Foundation honors many people for their efforts and achievements with hearing loss. Their mission is to break the stereotype surrounding hearing loss.
As part of a new class, ASU journalism students will have the chance to report on the Super Bowl for Fox Sports Arizona and the Arizona Republic. The class will accept 20 journalism students and be led by 2 experienced sports writers.
The Gallaudet Athletic Department just announced this year's entries into the Hall of Fame. The ceremony will be held this summer during the university's 150th anniversary. 7 athletes were chosen, and one of them just so happens to be our sports anchor, Diane Sukovacs. She played volleyball for 4 years and earned a reputation for strong services. Diane holds the record number of aces per game in the conference championship. She was named Player of the Year and helped guide the Bisons to 2 conference championships.
Congratulations!
Thank you, thank you.
Now you're going to be in Gallaudet University's Hall of Fame.
Yes, it's a big honor. It's really exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
Thanks.
Well, thanks for watching.
Be sure to tune in next time for a look at Tate Tullier's newest art gallery.